guys, welcome in, welcome here, welcome back. So glad to have you. Sparks here, and today we are going to be doing a special one-of-a-kind episode series of how to play King of Retail. Now, if you've never heard of this game, don't worry, I haven't either. This game came out in 2019, and it was the first kind of simulation game of its own like this, because I have not come across anything that is like this and is in detail and in depth. And then I couldn't, for the life of me, I could not find any kind of how-to videos on how to play this. I mean, there are playthroughs, but like this game needs an in-depth tutorial, and I decided I was going to make one for you guys. So without further ado, we're going to be going through different things, different aspects. So you can see me learning and playing on my live streams of this game on Twitch TV or on here, and it's That One Girl Sparks. But also, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be uploading videos on my YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe so that you can get the latest updates on when I make new videos. So we are going to be going through how to make a manager, what all these buttons do, what all these buttons mean, and everything like that. And then we are going to go ahead and create just today, well, for this episode, we're going to go back to school and go through the whole back to school, all the different segments of that. So that way, because I know some people don't really care to read or go through all those tutorials, so I'm going to read it for you, kind of explain what the ins and outs of it mean and everything. And again, this is just the first episode of many that are going to come out here. And again, like I said, you can catch my live streams if you'd like. And if you go on my Twitch, you will have channel point redemptions. You can also join the Discord and all that other stuff. And I'm very active in the Discord, so you can always talk to me there. Or like I said, you can leave comments or concerns here on the channel. Okay, well, without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get into this game here. So what I need my gamepad. Here it is. All right, we got that. And before we begin, so this game, like I said, it did come out in 2019. It was fully released in 2022, and they are making a King of Retail 2, which from what I'm seeing and what I've been reading on it, it's gonna have a lot more to do with it. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be joining the alpha with that game here within the next week. And hopefully we'll have some beta videos and all that out for you guys as well, so you guys can see what it looks like. And yeah. So without further ado, let's get into this game. So starting out, you have your first page here. So this is your landing page. This is your starting page and everything like that. Now, there will be no more latest news on here because they are no longer updating this game. They are focused wholeheartedly on King of Retail 2 because this game has been completed and finished and all that other. Now, one of the things that I can't figure out for the life of me is this Twitch integration. I don't know how it works. I think there used to be a button on Twitch. Can't find it. So don't worry about the Twitch integration thing. So just kind of leave that be. All right. So you have customize, where I recommend coming in here if you're US dollars, euro, or whatever. Change that to whatever you'd like, or you can keep it the original. I like it to be on US dollars. If you load in your manager, you'll be able to change your staff here and what they look like, appearances and things like that. Posters are here. This is where you can make different kinds of posters and signs and stuff like that. This is where you would make your logos. You can upload images. It's, you can really customize your store when you get down to it, like the nitty-gritty of everything. So that's your first page. All right, so when you begin, you're going to go into New Manager. And this is where you can be male, female. I'm going to be Sparks Enchanta. So I got my Sparks Enchanta, and then you come up here. I don't know what this is for exactly. Oh, that's for your name. Okay. All right, so hair color. This is where you can customize the hair color. Now, you can't change the color of your eyes. I know when they first released it, you could change the color of your eyes. In earlier versions of this game before the full release, at least from the videos that I've seen. But no longer can you do that. Your eyes are just gray, but you don't really see your eyes anyway. So, and you can kind of rotate if you want. See what she looks like. I don't like this purple hair. I was just messing around. We're gonna make black hair. Okay, and kind of like this hairstyle. Let's make her a little darker. There we go. All right, so, and then you go to these 3 little dots here, and then you can really adjust how she looks. Nose. Oh, make her look anorexic there. All right, let's go right there. You can really kind of, you can go silly with it if you want. So we're gonna just make her look a little, she's super happy. Look at that. She's just so happy. Happy to be working. Okay. Turnabout's YouTube quota has been exceeded. I don't know what that was about. Okay. Random. I was just reading something on my thing that came out. So, pardon me. All right, so we've created our character here. And then we're going to go ahead and so we got her all set, and let's return here. Oh, did I not save her? I did not save her. Ha, ha, I didn't hit create. Whoopsie. So again, Sparks, Enchanta. Let's do hair, black, and then, you know what? I like that style. A little darker. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just making her kind of something another here. Let's see. Mouth width. And position. Position, let's see. And smile. There we go. Oh, she looks, I don't know what I did to her cheeks, but let's give her a little bit more cheek. There we go. It looks like a Sparks Enchanta. There we go. Are you happy with this manager? Yes. And you can edit your manager at any time. In your edit manager mode, you have single store mode and you have campaign mode. So we're going to be going through all these different modes. The campaign mode will take longer to do because the campaign mode is like a lot harder, and currently I am streaming that live, so if you'd like to catch the lives of what I'm going through to get it going and started, you can definitely see those. I'm just gonna give you like tidbits and information and kind of record here and there as I go along, so it'll be smaller portions so that you guys can understand like how the inner workings go. Okay, so we're gonna go into business school here. So it's our first tab. You have to walk down here to this lady. It says business school. Welcome to all of you. Please talk to the instructor to participate in one of our classes. Please be quiet during the lectures. If you have questions, please raise your hand. And yes, stupid questions do exist. So we're going to do know your area. Okay. That was loud. So they make it kind of, they do really get into detail with it. Know your area. So we're going to do this. Customer segments. To run a successful store, you want to know More about the city and the customers that reside in it. Each city consists of a unique mix of customers. They are categorized into the following segments: farmer, pensioner, student, ecologist, ecologist, laborer, hipster, techie, accountant, and celebrity. So just remember the first three is low, middle is they like different things: luxury, quality, and fashion. So that's your three, and we'll go over that as we go along. As you can see, the chart shows what each segment looks for when they go shopping. Are they quality or money oriented, and how important is it that the article is in fashion? Okay, so we're gonna go to the next one. A pie chart of the population could look like this. In the chart, you can see that this city mainly has a low-income population, so your assortment of articles should primarily consist of articles in the lower price range of the category. The various segments also have different shopping patterns. So the peak hours for farmers and students may be different during a given day, but the peak hours for farmers in a workday compared to the weekday will also vary. Weekends are in general busier than workdays. On your computer, you can see statistics on when your customers visit your store. Article saturation. When you sell articles, the market will get saturated with those articles. The more you sell an article, the fewer customers will require it. These saturations are averaged out over several days. To tackle this, you can occasionally switch your focus to different articles. This will make the desire for that article increase again. Customers' need. When customers go shopping, they have various needs for the different categories. A customer's need is the most important factor when they go shopping. If a customer has a big need, they are willing to compromise a lot of the right article. Customers with no need would never buy anything from that particular category. As a manager, your job is to nudge the customer into buying the right articles. Reputations. Your store has a reputation with individual customer segments, as well as a reputation for selling the various article groups. When customers go shopping, they first think of what they want to buy and then look at your store's reputation to figure out if they want to go inside. The higher the reputation you have, the higher the chance of customers coming in. So this is your reputation here. So computers, women's tops, groceries, stuff like that. Each time you sell something, your reputation goes up, and if a customer leaves angry and disappointed, your reputation goes down. So in the end, it's all about keeping your customers happy. Before you start buying articles for your store, you might want to investigate the type of city that you are in. This information is available in the HUD as well as on your computer at the office. This concludes the course. All right, so that's know your customer, know your article. Welcome to the course, Know Your Article. All of your articles have various base parameters that make them unique to your customers. These parameters are article price, article quality score, article fashion score, and article luxury score. These stats can be seen for all articles on the following graph: quality, design, luxury. Okay? So, design is fashion. So, just think of it like, quality and fashion and luxury, it all depends. All categories have a city average price. To see if an article is either expensive or cheap, customers will compare it to the average price. By decreasing and increasing the price, you can adjust how attractive articles are to certain groups. For instance, the farmer segment cares about the price. To buy an item, the price would have to be low enough. Celebrities are interested in fashion and luxury and don't care about that price that much. So you can adjust the price on here. And I haven't really played around with it, but I'm also in a farmer segment. So trying to make sure I make that money there. But there is the average price. Article quality score. This explains the quality of an article. So if you want to sell articles to a techie who focuses primarily on quality, this is the most important factor to consider when deciding which articles to sell. Farmers who are focused on the price wouldn't mind high quality, but also wouldn't pay extra for it. Article fashion score. This explains how stylish an article is. It works the same as a quality score. A student would look at the price, but would also care about the fashionability of the article. A farmer, on the other hand, doesn't mind the fashionability, but also doesn't want to pay extra for it. Luxury determines how picky the customer is when deciding if they want to buy the article. A high luxury article, like a computer, requires effort to sell, compared to a low luxury item like everyday groceries. There's also a higher chance that customers will rather buy multiple low luxury items than various high luxury items. This concludes the course. So, quality, design, luxury. All right. Managing your articles. Between the moment you order articles and the moment the customer takes them home, the article usually goes through the following phases: ordered, in transit, delivered, in storage, being displayed, purchased. Unit until delivery. When you order articles, they are prepared at the warehouse. They are made ready for transit overnight, and delivery attempt with these articles will be made the next day. If you request a special delivery from your parcel company, all articles are instantly moved to transit so they can be delivered immediately. Upon delivery, the courier will place the articles on your delivery units. If not all articles can be delivered, they will go back to transit. After delivery. When the articles are at the delivery units, you need to unpack them before they are actually part of the storage. When that is done, you can display the articles in your store. Customers can now buy them and take them home. If a customer leaves angrily with articles still in their bag, these will be returned to your storage when they leave the store. If there's no room, they are placed in transit instead. Minimum storage. To make things easier, you have access to multiple systems on your computer. One of these systems is the minimum storage system. Here you can set the minimum number of articles. When you use the order from minimum storage system, it calculates how many articles are missing to reach that minimum order to add them and adds them to your cart. Use this system to maintain a good flow of articles in your store. There is a fine balance between having too many or too few articles. If you have too few in store, you will run out quickly, and this means that there will be customers that leave the store without being able to purchase a certain article. This will cost you money. If you have too many articles, your money is tied up on those articles. This means that you can't use the money on other things. If you need money, you might have to set up some discounts to recover some of the losses. So think a bit about your article flow and create a more profitable store. This concludes the course. All right. So you see there's a lot of these. So we're a quarter of the way through. Influencing your customers. The customers have their own needs and desires. However, you still have different ways to influence the customers directly and indirectly. Forum posting. When you've bought a marketing computer for your store, you can go to various forums to advertise your store. This targets multiple customer segments, and each post increases your reputation for that segment over a couple of days. However, forum posting primarily impacts segments of lower reputation, so it's best used if you're somewhat unknown in the area. Catalogs. At the end of the day, you can make catalog campaigns at the office. Depending on what you choose to promote, you can temporarily increase the interest in articles, categories, and segments. It also increases the number of people passing your store. Window showcasing. In each storefront, you have multiple spots where you can show off articles to people walking by the store. This creates some additional hype, increasing the overall interest for that particular article. You can manage these articles directly at your store window. Posters. You can also place posters around the store, both inside and outside. When placed outside a store, they attract customers that respond to the advertised category. When placed inside, they instead increase the need of those customers. There are A, B, and C locations in every store. This means that some places are better to show off articles than others in your store. Customers will always be more inclined to look at articles placed closer to the entrance. This has the biggest effect in larger stores. Use this to your advantage when you want to give some attention to certain articles. Direct sales. Some of the customers also demand your attention. Depending on the question they have, you can influence the customer directly and suggest certain articles or categories and influence their needs. This concludes the course. The art of selling. I'm no good at this. When making a direct sale with a customer, your job is to guide the customer into making a decision that will eventually lead them to buying an article. If you can also convince them to buy something that will earn you extra money, that's a bonus. This is the screen you see when interacting with a customer. As you can see, there are 3 parameters: patience, happiness, and need. When the customer runs out of patience, the conversation ends automatically. You have the chance to replenish it occasionally during your conversation, and this will give you more time to convince the customer. Happiness indicates how much the customer believes in your sales pitch. At the end of the conversation, a small bar will show up, which tells you if the customer accepts or rejects your sales pitch. This means the more happiness they have at the end of the conversation, the higher chance there is of them accepting your proposal. If they reject, the sale has failed. If they accept, their need will be influenced. So only an accepted sale is usable. If the customer accepts the sale, the need tells you how big of an effect the conversation has had on the customer. So even a small increase in their initial need means that your sale effort has influenced the customer. Making the sale is about increasing these bars before the customer runs out of patience. Choose one of these bars to improve on and begin the conversation. If you increase the possible effect on that bar as well as the chance of it being applied. As long as the customer has patience, you can always carry on the conversation. When satisfied, you finish the sale and the remaining patience will be added to the bars. Finding the right customer. When selling something to the customer, it's important to listen to their reactions when you propose something. If they say, "Not in a million years," even your best sales pitch won't convince them, even though the conversation was accepted. So sort your customers and decide if it's worth spending your time on, and if you want to make a quick sell or a big mistake, or a big sale. I said big mistake. Whoopsie. All right. Thieves. All right, welcome to the course of thieves. Sometimes some people come by that are very interested in what you are selling but don't have any desire in paying for it. This is unfortunate evil that exists in the world of retailing, but it still needs to be dealt with. So we will be focusing on dealing with thieves. Thieves have a special way about them. When they are picking up an article, they do so while looking very suspicious. If you see a person behaving like this, you can, after they stole the article, go and talk to them and kick them out of your store. In this situation, your articles will be returned to your storage. Keep in mind that if the thief gets outside your store, they have gotten away with the items and you can no longer stop them. So they kind of bend over, put their hands out, and look at it kind of weird. Alarm systems. Keeping an eye out for thieves can be a tiring task, which is why you also have the option of installing an alarm system at your entrance. These systems will go off when they detect a thief, giving you or your staff a certain amount of time to go and catch this person. Remember that depending on the system, some thieves may still be able to pass through undetected. Your staff can also be appointed to a security role. In this case, they will stand around and watch for possible thieves and eventually go and catch them if they find one. Staff will also go and catch thieves caught by the alarm systems. Spotting a thief depends on their skill and distance to a thief. So you can, with advantage, use the zoning system to optimize the security of your store. Thieves talk to each other. Thief reputations. So either if you catch or miss a thief, it has a consequence. Catching thieves will decrease the risk of a future thief arriving, since they know you are aware of them being around. But every time a thief gets away with some articles, the risk of them entering your store increases. And if they get away with repeated success, they also will grow bolder and try to steal more over time. This concludes the course. Okay. Let's see here. Starting from scratch. When getting a new store up and running, surviving the first period is the hardest part of it all. As you probably won't make a profit the first couple of days, you need to be a bit more careful during this period. There are some strategies you can use to make it easier to handle. Watch your money. During the first day, your sales may not cover rent, wages, and new inventory. To counter this, it's a good idea not to spend all your money at once, but save some of it to ensure you don't go into the negative the first few days. However, if that does happen, you can always take a loan. These need to be paid with interest though, making everything more expensive. The quiet periods. If your store is sales ready but there are no customers, there are still a couple of things you can do. First of all, you can create some forum posts on your marketing computer to get your reputation up. Secondly, you can go outside and persuade some passerbys to go into your store. The grand opening. Since a good reputation means more customers and thus more money, you can also choose to up your game and spend some money to make things go faster. For instance, an ad campaign combined with many discounts will bring in more customers, and this will give your reputation a boost. Both ads and discounts will of course also cost you money and therefore won't bring you much profit. However, the increased reputation should bring you a general profit earlier on compared to the slow approach. This concludes the course. I like ads. I like doing the ad thing. Staff, attributes. Your staff have 4 major attributes: energy, productivity, mood, and optimism. These tell you how the person is doing and if there is something you need to look after. Energy decreases during the day and is replenished in their time off. A worker needs regular days off as well as lunch breaks on longer days to maintain energy levels. Productivity tells you how effective the worker is in this current moment. So the higher the productivity, the faster the employee will perform the task. Productivity changes from day to day, but can be affected by directly talking to the employee. Mood explains the short-term happiness of an employee. Several things affect the mood during a workday in both good and bad ways. If the mood gets too low, an employee might get angry and go home, so it's good to keep them happy. Okay. Optimism defines long-term happiness. A high mood increases optimism over time, whereas a low mood decreases it. Employees with low optimism are more prone to sick days and quitting their jobs. They also feature a familiarity trait. When an employee joins your company, they need to get accustomed to the way you work. And this trait tells you how much they have gotten used to your systems and management style. Their familiarity will improve over time, making them faster and more secure in their work. Staff performance. All these attributes affect your staff in their daily routine. For instance, the speed and success rate of a task depends on their energy, productivity, familiarity, and of course the skill level itself. So paying attention to these values can give you a deeper performance from your workers, giving you more money in the end. Keeping a good atmosphere. Your employees are affected by their coworkers. A happy employee can lift the spirit of others, while an angry one affects the other workers negatively. Spending time on managing your employees during the day as well as when the day is over can make your own day much easier. Okay, scheduling. Staff scheduling. Staff workload. Your employees are not robots, so it's important to manage their work week well. Setting up a good schedule is important, especially in campaign mode where you can be away from the store for longer periods. Making your staff work too much will affect their energy and mood and can in the end make them quit their job. So adding days off in your schedule will make everything run more smoothly. But not all workers are the same. Some prefer long work days while others prefer shorter. Some need more days off, while others can work for a longer time. So get to know your staff and create a schedule that will make them happy. Make everyone happy. Assigning tasks. You have full control over your staff's schedule and can plan their job for every hour of every day of the week. And for each hour, your staff can perform various tasks as well. You can stick to the default roles where an employee performs one task like selling. Or you can create your own where an employee will prioritize tasks and do what is needed. For instance, a person that sells but also refills articles when there are no customers. Use this in your own way to get the most out of your employees. Staff breaks. Employees also appreciate a break on long work days. You can assign a fixed break on the schedule board at the office. You can also send them on shorter breaks when talking to them at the store. Equipping your staff room with a coffee machine and a table will improve the effectiveness of the break itself. By analyzing what is needed at which hour and spending time setting up an efficient schedule, you are able to run a very smooth store. Having people assigned at the right hours, doing what is needed, and planning for breaks and days off will ensure that idle time is at a minimum, giving you the most of your money as well as maintaining a happy workforce, meaning you don't have to need to hire and train new people regularly. Because trust me, that's annoying. Okay, staff skills. When your employees truly differ from each other is in their various skills. What they know, how fast they learn, and what they specialize in makes them ideal for certain tasks, and less so for others. So take this into account when hiring and planning, as well as thinking about your future team will look like. Main talents. There are the main talents of your employees. The colored bar explains the actual skill of your employee. They increase by doing tasks relevant to the skill. And the higher the skill, the more practice is needed to increase it even further. The star represents the talent of your staff. The more stars, the faster they will learn this skill overall. So that's these right here. The little bar with the triangles describe the average skill level of your employees. So the higher their overall skill level is, the higher their progress is. When they reach one of the triangles, it opens up the possibility of new set of perks. Perks are unique traits that each employee can get. Maybe they have a preferred customer segment when selling. Or maybe they give extra positive attitude to their coworkers. Or it could be something third. When an employee opens up for a new set of perks, you can send the person on a course to select and assign these new perks. The management of your employees' needs, skills, gives various opportunities. By hiring an experienced worker, you don't have big influence in this person's development, as skills and perks are already assigned. By hiring an unskilled person, you're better able to shape them the way you like, but it will of course take some time to bring them to an adequate level. Consider these things and build a workforce that perfectly fits your store. All right. And then we're getting into campaign here. The basics. Campaign mode is played in a city with the possibility to start your own corporation and to manage multiple stores and concepts. As this mode is more complex than running a single store, there are many new features and therefore more things to learn to become a successful store owner. Concepts. A concept is a unique, identifiable brand for your stores to operate under. It tells what articles to sell, which logo to use, the brand colors, etc. Each store will then operate under the assigned concept, like these. These stores work together to build a strong brand and reap the rewards together. It's up to you whether you want to have many smaller concepts or a few bigger ones. Each store in a concept earns points when it performs well. You can use these points to unlock new articles to sell or the possibility of higher reputations. Your concepts are managed at your HQ, where there is an entire floor dedicated to each concept. If you've taken the course on knowing your area, you've learned about the importance of reputations. In campaign mode, Your stores still have their local reputations, but also share one of the entire concept. The customers will also take this into account when deciding if they want to visit your store. You can see the reputation at your headquarters on the concept floor. Finding your headquarters. Before you can run stores of your own, you need your own headquarters to manage it all. The amount of concepts you can have depends on the size of your headquarters. Each concept requires a floor. The number of floor tells you how many you can have. It also tells you how many stores you are allowed to have. So think of your needs before getting a bigger and more expensive HQ. The city. The city consists of various areas where you can run your stores. They have different populations and the areas have their own mix of people. Before deciding where to open your store, look at the location so you know what to expect. Remember that the property prices are rise accordingly, so having a store in a busy area will be more expensive. Take this into account when you need more money in your reserve to sustain the initial losses of the store. Renting or buying. When acquiring property, you can either rent or buy. Buying requires more money in advance since it gives you the right to the lot and it enables you to expand your store. When renting, you can only change the existing layout. You also don't have to pay rent. When buying, you still need to pay for utilities and insurances, so it won't be cost-free to operate. Almost there, y'all. Corporation. Managing the finances of your concept also differs from managing a single store. This is because the stores, as well as the corporation itself, have their own finances. Store finances. Each store manages its own income and expenses exclusively at that store. This is not affected by what happens elsewhere in your corporation. Another store can go bankrupt while another reels in tons of money. Keep an eye on all your stores so you're not caught by surprise if one of them is in economic trouble. The corporation's finances cover the cost of your HQ, including rent, manager wages, and so on. If you open a new store, the amount of money you open with comes from this pool. You can transfer money between your stores and corporation to ensure things run smoothly everywhere. This is done at your HQ in the concept room. Corporation fee. To make your life easier, you can regulate the corporation fee of each concept. This fee tells you how much of a store's profits should be returned to the corporation. If a store earns more money any given day, a percentage of that will be transferred. Like this, struggling stores will focus on keeping themselves alive first and foremost. Bankruptcy. Having money problems means that you risk going bankrupt. Bankruptcy always happens on the third consecutive day of red finances. If a store goes bankrupt, all assets will be sold. The store will be closed, and the remaining funds will be added to or deducted from the corporation. Game over. If the corporation goes bankrupt, everything will be dissolved. Your company will close, and the game will end. So above everything else, always make sure there is some money on your corporation account. This concludes the course. Scaling up. Running a corporation with a single store can be done by you alone. When you start expanding and getting multiple stores, you need to get additional help in various positions to help you out. Daily managers. You can only be at one store at a time. This means you need someone to run the other stores in your absence, as a lot will go wrong without proper leadership. For this, you need a daily manager. This is one of the employees at the store who is assigned to take care of the store while you're away. As more responsibility requires a higher wage, you need to negotiate with the person for the new role. This is done at the office at your store. Revisiting stores. Even though you have a daily manager, you will still need to visit that store occasionally. Leaving the store alone will make the workers complacent, and this will slowly reduce the efficiency of the store, meaning a loss in profits. Spending time at a store will keep the employees on their toes and let them know that they're an important part of your company, or that you are still watching, whichever you prefer. HQ managers. You can also hire for your HQ to perform tasks. Depending on their skill, they make improvements to various areas of your corporation. Managers can be assigned to the concepts and will influence those stores. Corporation managers will influence the entire corporation. You can evaluate and hire managers at your office at their headquarters. Promoting or hiring? The skills of your managers can improve over time and they can become quite an asset. You can also get one of your store employees to apply for a job at your HQ. You can do this at the board in the store's office. As all employees need to learn their role, it can sometimes be better to promote or relocate staff internally, as they know how everything works, as opposed to hiring an outside person with no knowledge of your corporation. Oh my god, isn't that true? Like, facts? Jeez. This concludes the course. Alright, one last one to go. Competitors. The city has a large population, meaning a lot of money to be made. So over time, other companies will move to the city and try to get their piece of the market share. And sometimes they will try and battle your stores directly and take over the market of the categories that are being sold. Companies. Each company has a primary category from where they do their business. This means that this company will only affect those concepts that also sell articles from these categories. You can also see an arrow on their screen. This is the power arrow, and it tells you how the company is doing in general. Are they doing well and looking to expand? Are they on the back foot just trying to survive? The companies also have various traits to define them. The most important one is the financial rating. It tells you how aggressive they can be in the new activities and how vulnerable they are when losing money. Then they have the expansion of determination and marketing aggression. These two combined with a financial rating indicate their desire to expand with a new store or making a new marketing campaign. Stores. The stores of your competitors are the ones you are doing the actual battle with. Each store has a reputation and a trending bar. The trending bar is telling whether the reputation will increase or decrease. This is affected by the reputation of other stores in the area. They're in your marketing campaigns, as well as how the company is doing. If a competitor's store is very low on the reputation, it has a good chance of going out of business. The competitor stores affect your customers' sales in various ways. First of all, is based on comparisons. So if you have a low reputation and they have high, they basically control the market, and the amount of customers entering your store to buy articles from this category will be reduced drastically. If your reputation is high and theirs is low, you control the market and you will barely notice the effect. Furthermore, this also affects the sales of stores run by daily managers. Remember, the competitors only affect stores selling articles of the same categories. So if you're selling electronics and they're selling groceries, you will not affect each other at all until you decide to make an advance on their market. So consider these things when you open a new store. Will you open up in free territory? Or will you engage in a contested market and try to run the competitors out of business? This concludes the course. And that concludes all the courses. Alright, so new menu. Alright, y'all. So that is the business school. And that is going to conclude us talking about all of that today. I am long-winded. That was a lot. Oh, Lord, I'm ready to take a break. So yeah, that is business school. And I hope you guys enjoyed it because I am absolutely wind rot. Like, oh gosh, I can't breathe. Oh, all right. So anyways, I hope that helped in a lot of ways. If you didn't take the time to read the business school, I hope that this helped you understand a bit more about the business school. If, again, not saying that you guys can't read or anything, but I know some people would rather hear it than go through and read it. So, anyways, all right, y'all, this is going to conclude our first episode in the tutorial series for King of Retail. Next episode, we will go into single story mode. We will create a store and we will begin how a store is made. Eventually, we'll get to campaign mode, which is a lot harder. And again, I am live streaming that, so you can catch me on how I'm doing on the live stream. But I'm still learning as well and bringing new ideas and concepts into it. I am no stranger to simulation games, but like I said, this game is a lot harder than a lot of other ones that I have played. Anyways, thanks again for coming out. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you all, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!